Ms. King said she's not going to put pressure on you. I'm going to put a little pressure on you as juniors to start doing the research for college. For the simple reason that I think your junior year is the most important year to really focus on the college aspect of it. In your senior year, it's important because you're going to be filling out the application. However, your senior year, you don't really get to do anything that helps you to necessarily get into college. Because I'm going to go ahead and tell you a secret that many of you may not be thinking about right now. But getting into college, we're going to look at your GPA, and your GPA is only going to be calculated through your junior year. Now, why do you think that is? You're not going to have any grades when you're applying that senior year. You're not going to have any senior year grades. So this is the last year that you can actually do something about your GPA. So I think that your junior year is a great time for you to start thinking about the colleges out there and what their profile looks like, what they are looking for in students who apply to them. The other reason that I think that this is a very important year for you is because by the end of this year, all of you need to have taken at least the SAT and the ACT. My recommendation is to take both tests at least one time. Because at the beginning of your senior year, I think you should go back and take whichever test you felt more comfortable taking, and the test that you made the best score on, I think you should take that one again. That's how you're going to get your best scores. So really your junior year is a very important year for you. I'm going to put some pressure on you to start really thinking about college and looking at some options there. As I was introduced, my name is Tino Johnson. I'm the coordinator of recruitment and enrollment for the Honors Program at the University of Georgia. I graduated from Georgia in 2004. And after graduation, I began working for the Office of Undergraduate Admissions and recruiting students. And 6 weeks ago, I took a role in the Honors Program recruiting students who are focused on academics and students who have a little bit more intellectual curiosity than that traditional student. Now, how many of you are thinking about Georgia possibly as a college option? I figured a lot of you probably are, but if you haven't started thinking about Georgia as a college option, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right here in your state you can get a great education. Right here in your state you can get a great education at a low cost as well. And through the Honors Program you can even enhance the remarkable education that you get at the University of Georgia. Now Georgia offers a lot of opportunities for students. We have over 140 different majors with 30 different certificate programs. We are constantly ranked in the top 5 for the amount of participants who take advantage of international experiences. We have internships and research, and all of those things are available through the Honors Program as well. And as I mentioned, it's a way to enhance your experience at Georgia. What we seek to do in the Honors Program is to connect students, top students, with the top faculty members at the University of Georgia. And the Honors Program is designed so that courses and class sizes are a little bit smaller. It's a little bit more intimate. You can have a more discussion-based education as opposed to the traditional lecture-style education. Now, in the Honors Program at Georgia, you're not secluded from the general population of students. You're still integrated in. We're not a city on a hill, so you will take some honors courses and you can take some traditional courses. The requirement of being a student who graduates with the distinction of honors from the University of Georgia is that students take, or the honor students take 9 courses over their 4-year career. So some of your courses will be honors courses and some may not. The reason that we want you to take advantage of those honors courses is because, like I said, you get to really interact with faculty members, and I think that's one of the keys to being successful in college is connecting with faculty members, because they're going to help you through the next 4 years. They're going to help you find what you're passionate about. They're going to help you decide what you want to do for the rest of your life. I am 32 years old and I'm still trying to determine what I want to be when I grow up. So working with faculty members really helps you to take advantage of all the opportunities available at Georgia. I want to talk about 3 things that the Honors Program can offer you at Georgia. Those 3 things are internships, international travel, and research. Let's start with internships. Through the Honors Program at Georgia, we offer 3 internships during the summer that I want to focus on. We have an internship in Washington, D.C., where we allow 10 students to go to D.C., and some of those students will intern with congressmen and women on the Hill. Some of the students have an opportunity to intern with some NGOs, some nonprofit organizations. We had a student this past summer who interned doing marketing research and stuff with National Geographic. That's a remarkable experience that you can't get inside the classroom. You can't get that experience talking with a faculty member. It's a hands-on experience, something that will look great on a resume when applying to grad school or applying for a job. We also have an internship in New York City where students have an opportunity to live in Manhattan, but they also have an opportunity to intern with the Greater New York Hospital Association. So if you're interested in things like emergency management or public health, this is a remarkable experience because you get to work with an outstanding young lady who was the 10th person called when 9/11 happened. Now, I know all of you were very young when 9/11 happened, but just think about how important people who were in that top 10 of people phoned when that event happened. Obviously, the president was on that list. The Secretary of Defense was on that list, and this young lady was on that list. So just think about the hands-on experience that you can get from that. Now, God forbid something like 9/11 happen again, but think about the day-to-day emergency management that happens in planning for events that could take place in New York City. Just think about the work that has to be done if a subway train was to derail in New York City. Also, think about the other things you can learn from that experience. Think about the amount of languages that are probably spoken in New York hospitals on a day-to-day basis. So another remarkable opportunity there. The other internship I want to talk about is down in Savannah, Georgia. We only have one student each summer who gets a chance to do this, but it's with the U.S. Attorney. How many of you know how many U.S. senators there are in the country? That's a real easy question. How many U.S. senators? 100, that's right, 2 per state. So there are 100 U.S. senators in the country. So it's remarkable if you have an opportunity to intern with a U.S. senator, but does anyone know how many U.S. attorneys there are in the country? 93. So fewer U.S. attorneys than there are senators. So to have a chance to intern with one of them is really great. Cool thing about the honor student who interns with the U.S. Attorney in Savannah is they are the only undergraduate student who has that opportunity. Everyone else in that office is currently in law school. That's pretty cool that as an undergraduate student, you have that opportunity. Now, hopefully, by doing internships, you will find a passion to possibly do things like international travel or research. UGA is constantly ranked in the top 5 for the amount of participants who study abroad, with over 35% of our graduating class each year having an international experience. We actually own 3 campuses abroad. We have a campus in Oxford, England. There's only one other university that has a campus on the campus of Oxford University, and that's Stanford University. That's the only other one. Now, there are other universities out there that might do an international experience at Oxford, but they don't own anything there. So you have an opportunity to interact with Oxford dons, which means that you're not learning necessarily just from a UGA faculty member. You're learning from someone at Oxford University, and that is the professor who is only teaching you and one other student. So it is a great way to really interact with faculty members. We also have a campus in Cortona, Italy. So if you're interested in things like Italian, or if you're interested in art, a great campus to study at, a beautiful campus. And then if you're interested in things like ecotourism or wilderness or something like that, we own a campus down in the Costa Rican rainforest. We are one of few institutions that allow students to study abroad on all 7 continents as well. So if you're interested in penguins, you can study in Antarctica. We have a group of students who go to Antarctica in December and January and study penguin populations and global change. We will pretty much allow you to study abroad on any continent in any country that you are interested in. The only places we will not allow you to travel or study are places that are not in good relationship with the State Department. So if you're thinking North Korea, it's probably not going to happen right now. But great opportunities for you, because those are things that you can't learn in the classroom. That's a hands-on experience that you can't learn from the textbook, or you can't learn from just interacting with faculty members. And the last thing that I want to talk with you about is the research piece of it, and an opportunity to be in a lab doing research, working with top professionals. And I don't want you to just think that research is related to sciences. Yes, there are a lot of different research opportunities that are done in the STEM disciplines, in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But there's a lot of research that's done in art. There's a lot of research done in education, in music, and recreation, and things like that. So you can do research in whatever you're interested in. And there's a commitment to students at Georgia because we allow you the opportunity to do research from day one. Very few opportunities like that at other universities and colleges. Typically, they only allow you to do research once you get into your major coursework, or possibly once you get into grad school. That thankfully not on your first day on campus, but you have that opportunity in Georgia. That's the thing that makes University of Georgia students shine better when applying to things like grad school, med school, law school, professional jobs as well. So lots of great opportunities through the University of Georgia, and especially through the honors program. Now I'm sure you're probably interested in what it takes to get into the honors program at Georgia. During your senior year, you're going to have an opportunity to apply to the University of Georgia. And there are two different processes for applying to Georgia. There's the early action process and there's the regular decision process. The early action process is strictly numbers driven, where they only look at GPA, they look at curriculum, they look at standardized test scores. GPA is very important because that shows us how you've done in your classes. But curriculum is very important as well, and I know that many of you probably weigh the options of whether or not you should take an AP course over an online or an O-level course. Maybe you're weighing the options of whether you should stay in the tag program or something like that. I encourage you to continue to challenge yourself, and especially in your senior year, because senioritis is the worst thing that can happen to a good student. A lady senior is a lady freshman, and those aren't the type of students we want at the University of Georgia. So we expect our students to challenge themselves based upon what's available in their high school. And then obviously we're going to look at standardized test scores, SAT or ACT. Like I said, I recommend that you take both tests. We're also going to do something where we super score your test scores. So always send your test scores to us. We'll take your best test score. The lower stuff, we'll just not even look at. So don't even worry about that piece. But early action only looks at the numbers. There's no such thing as an early action honors application. So your application to the honors program begins in the Office of Admissions, where October 15th is that early action deadline, and then around at the beginning of December, you find out whether or not you were admitted to the University of Georgia. Now, after being admitted to the University of Georgia, the honors program can then look at your application. So we'll look at all of the early action applications, and we'll typically take about the top 2% into the honors program automatically. So without ever applying to the honors program, 2% of the early action students will automatically be accepted into the program. Now, those students who are not accepted into the program automatically, they still have an opportunity to apply through our application. And the honors application is actually due February 1. And the February 1 application reviews the extracurricular pieces, essay replies, and stuff like that as well. But I think it's important that you understand that your application needs to be a supporting document of what you are interested in. Because at the end of the day, we're looking for students who are going to benefit and contribute at the University of Georgia, but we're looking for people who have intellectual curiosity. We're looking for people who illustrate passion through their application. We're looking for people who show long-term commitment. So I want to see, I like to connect the dots. I like to see that things are really connected there. If you tell me that you're interested in something like medicine, I want to see students who are taking advantage of advanced placement biology. I want to see students who are doing internships at the local hospital. Maybe you're volunteering at the hospital. So all of that, those types of things look good in your application. Remember, it's about quality and not quantity when you're talking about your extracurricular involvement.